While RAAF fighters and bombers took center stage, 22 support aircraft built the infrastructure that made combat possible. Tiger Moths created pilots. Catalinas patrolled vast Pacific Ocean corridors. Dakotas crossed the Owen Stanley Ranges daily. Dutch flying boats escaped the Japanese invasion and flew for Australia. 22 aircraft. The RAAF could not fight without them.
Trainers. Let's begin with the trainers, the aircraft that built the RAAF's aircrew from nothing. De Havilland Tiger Moth. Australia's primary pilot training aircraft throughout the entire war. De Havilland Australia built 1,085 examples at Bankstown from 1940. Single 130 horsepower Gypsy Major inline engine reaching 109 miles per hour. Two-seat open cockpit biplane with fixed undercarriage. Empire Air Training Scheme graduates took first solo flights in Tiger Moths before advancing to Wirraways. First step in creating every RAAF combat pilot. SOC Wirraway. Australia's first mass-produced military aircraft and most versatile wartime training type. Commonwealth Aircraft Corporation built 755 from 1939 to 1946. Single 600 horsepower Pratt & Whitney Wasp R-1340 engine reaching 220 miles per hour. Two forward .303 Browning machine guns plus one flexible rear gun. Served as advanced trainer, Army cooperation, and emergency fighter against Japanese aircraft in Malaya during December 1941. Airspeed, Oxford. Britain's standard twin-engine advanced trainer adopted by the RAAF across multiple roles. Approximately 392 served in Australia throughout the war. Twin Armstrong Siddeley Cheetah X radials, 375 horsepower each, reaching 188 miles per hour. Used for multi-engine pilot conversion, observer navigation, bombing, and wireless training. Empire Air Training Scheme schools relied on Oxfords to produce the multi-engine aircrew that RAAF bombers desperately needed. SOC Wacket Trainer. First aircraft designed entirely in-house by Commonwealth Aircraft Corporation. 200 built at Fisherman's Bend from 1941. Single 175 horsepower Warner Super Scarab radial reaching 115 miles per hour. Two-seat fixed undercarriage monoplane of steel tube and fabric construction. Served at Empire Air Training Scheme elementary flying schools and wireless air gunnery schools. Underpowered but reliable, performing basic ab initio instruction across 12 training establishments. Tugan Gannet. First Australian-designed aircraft in series production and first Australian-designed type accepted into RAAF service. 8 built by Tugan Aircraft from 1935 to 1937. Twin 200 horsepower de Havilland Gypsy 6 inline engines reaching 140 miles per hour. High-wing monoplane seating up to 8 passengers. Served aerial survey, VIP transport, and air ambulance duties. In February 1938, carried Australia's Air Chief of Staff on the country's first international flight in a domestically designed aircraft. Flying boats and maritime patrol. Moving on to maritime patrol, the flying boats that guarded millions of miles of ocean. Consolidated PBY Catalina, the RAAF's most important maritime patrol aircraft. 168 aircraft served across 7 squadrons in the Pacific. Twin Pratt & Whitney R-1830 engines, 1,200 horsepower each, reaching 179 miles per hour. 2.50 caliber and 3.30 caliber machine guns, plus 2,000-pound bomb load. Range exceeding 2,500 miles enabled 24-hour patrols across Pacific approaches. Critical for anti-submarine warfare and recovering downed aircrew from remote ocean locations. Short Sunderland. The RAAF's primary Atlantic patrol aircraft. Numbers 10 and 461 squadrons flew Sunderlands from British bases throughout the war. 4 Bristol Pegasus 18 radials, 1,010 horsepower each, reaching 213 miles per hour. 12.303 machine guns, plus 2,250-pound depth charge load. Number 10 Squadron achieved the type's first unassisted U-boat kill in July 1940. Number 461 Squadron famously fought off 8 attacking Ju-88s simultaneously over the Bay of Biscay. Martin Mariner, PBM. American flying boat replacing Dutch Dorniers in RAAF Pacific service. 35 aircraft served with number 41 Squadron from May 1944. Twin Wright R2600-12 engines, 1,900 horsepower each, reaching 211 miles per hour. 5.50 caliber machine guns, plus 1,000-pound bomb or depth charge payload. Flew reconnaissance and transport missions between Townsville and New Guinea. Superior range and payload to the Dorniers it replaced in mid-1944. Dornier Do-24K. German-designed, Dutch-built flying boats that escaped the Japanese invasion and flew for Australia. 6 survivors transferred to RAAF February 1942, 5 serving with number 41 Squadron. 3 Wright R-1820 Cyclone radials, 880 to 1,000 horsepower each, reaching 211 miles per hour. Armament removed for RAAF transport duties. Flew nearly 1,800 total hours on New Guinea freight and passenger routes before replacement by Mariners in May 1944.
Transport. Next up, transport aircraft, the backbone of Pacific logistics. Douglas C-47 Dakota, the Pacific War's essential transport aircraft. 124 served in multiple variants across 6 RAAF transport squadrons. Twin Pratt & Whitney R-1830 engines, 1,200 horsepower each, reaching 224 miles per hour, carrying 28 troops or 6,000 pounds of cargo. Supplied isolated garrisons across New Guinea, evacuated wounded, delivered fuel and ammunition. Eisenhower called the Dakota one of 4 weapons that won the war. De Havilland DH-84 Dragon biplane, twin-engine transport serving RAAF navigation, training, and communications roles. Approximately 68 aircraft operated from 1941. Twin 130 horsepower de Havilland Gypsy Major inline engines, reaching 134 miles per hour. 8-passenger configuration, adapted for crew training and administrative transport. Empire Air Training Scheme, navigation schools used Dragons to instruct observer candidates across Australia before graduation to more capable twin-engine operational aircraft. De Havilland DH-86A Express, 4-engine biplane airliner serving RAAF VIP and communications roles. 12 aircraft operated from 1939 to 1945. 4 200 horsepower de Havilland Gypsy 6 inline engines, reaching 166 miles per hour. 10-passenger enclosed cabin for senior officer transport. Originally operated by Qantas on Australian routes, impressed into RAAF service after war began. Used for headquarters communications and command transport between widely separated Australian bases throughout the conflict. Lockheed Lodestar, fast twin-engine transport providing RAAF headquarters with rapid executive travel capability. 19 aircraft served from 1943. Twin Pratt & Whitney R-1830 twin Wasp engines, 1,200 horsepower each, reaching 265 miles per hour, significantly faster than any comparable RAAF transport. 18 passenger capacity. Served RAAF senior commanders and Allied Air Forces headquarters for staff transport throughout the Pacific Theater and Australian Command Network until the war's end. Douglas DC-2 American airliner, impressed into RAAF military transport service after civilian routes closed. 8 aircraft operated from 1940 to 1946. Twin Wright SGR-1820 Cyclone engines, 710 horsepower each, reaching 210 miles per hour. 14 passenger capacity, adapted for cargo and military personnel transport. Direct predecessor to the C-47 Dakota, sharing the same design lineage. Bridged early wartime transport needs before purpose-built military aircraft became available in sufficient numbers. Junkers W-34, German-designed commercial transport aircraft impressed into RAAF service from civilian operators at war's outbreak. 13 aircraft served in 2 variants from 1942. Single 660 horsepower BMW Hornet radial, reaching 165 miles per hour. High-wing monoplane originally used by Lufthansa and international colonial airlines worldwide. Served RAAF communications, light cargo, and passenger transport across eastern and northern Australia. Enemy nations' commercial design became an Allied logistics workhorse through wartime necessity. Bristol Bombay, British colonial transport and bomber serving RAAF exclusively in transport role. 9 aircraft arrived from 1942. Twin Bristol Pegasus 22 radials, 1,010 horsepower each, reaching 192 miles per hour. High-wing monoplane accommodating 24 troops with defensive armament of 2.303 Vickers machine guns in nose and tail positions. Used for Pacific Island transport supporting Australian operations across New Guinea logistics chains and administrative supply runs. Communication, liaison, and special types. Finally, communications, liaison, and special types. The aircraft that kept commands connected. De Havilland DH-89 Dragon Rapide, refined biplane transport serving RAAF navigation training and communications from 1940 to 1944. Twin 200 horsepower De Havilland Gypsy 6 inline engines, reaching 157 miles per hour. Improved aerodynamics over DH-84 Dragon with tapered wings and partial wheel fairings. 8 passenger capacity, adapted for navigation observer training. Provided reliable multi-engine flying boat experience before graduates advanced to operational Catalinas and Sunderlands operating in Pacific and Atlantic theaters. De Havilland Fox Moth, compact single-engine liaison aircraft serving RAAF communications flights and headquarters transport. Single 130 horsepower De Havilland Gypsy Major inline engine reaching 118 miles per hour. 4-passenger high-wing biplane design with enclosed cabin for passengers and open cockpit for pilot. Small numbers operated by RAAF communications units for rapid command liaison. Provided flexible short-field capability supporting senior officer movement between forward operational bases across northern Australia. Supermarine Walrus, British biplane amphibian serving RAAF fleet cooperation and air-sea rescue duties. Single 775 horsepower Bristol Pegasus 6 radial in pusher configuration, reaching 135 miles per hour. Biplane with retractable wheeled undercarriage, enabling operations from land and water. Armed with 2.303 Lewis machine guns. RAAF examples served fleet cooperation squadrons supporting Royal Australian Navy, rescued downed aircrew from Pacific and Indian Ocean waters throughout the conflict.
Nordoon Norseman, Canadian utility transport serving RAAF, Pacific Communications and light supply requirements. 15 aircraft operated from 1943 to 1946. Single 600 horsepower Pratt & Whitney R-1340 Wasp radial, reaching 155 miles per hour. High-wing monoplane accommodating 10 passengers or equivalent cargo. Designed for Canadian bush operations, equally suited to rough Pacific airstrips where larger Dakotas couldn't land. Provided RAAF light transport capability essential for isolated forward positions. DHAG-2 glider. Australia's only domestically designed and produced military glider. 8 constructed by de Havilland Australia from 1942. 2 prototypes and 6 production aircraft. Unpowered high-wing wooden monoplane with 50-foot wingspan accommodating pilot and 6 soldiers. Towed by Ferry Battle or Douglas Dakota. Never deployed operationally as the Japanese invasion threat receded before operational requirement arose. Demonstrated Australian capacity to produce specialist military aircraft entirely from domestic resources. Ford 5AT Trimotor. American all-metal trimotor impressed from civilian operators at war's outbreak. 6 aircraft served RAAF transport duties from 1942 to 1946. 3 420 horsepower Pratt & Whitney Wasp radials reaching 135 miles per hour. High-wing design accommodating 11 passengers in corrugated all-metal fuselage. Nicknamed the Tin Goose for its distinctive construction. Used for light transport and communications across northern Australia, where purpose-built military aircraft remained in short supply. From Tiger Moth biplane to Douglas Dakota, from escaped Dutch flying boats to Australian-built gliders, these 22 aircraft reveal the true depth of RAAF wartime operations. The Tiger Moth launched thousands of combat pilots from their very first solo flight to operational squadron service. The Catalina patrolled over 2 million square miles of Pacific Ocean on 30-hour missions. The Dakota sustained jungle campaigns that would have collapsed without daily air resupply. Some were obsolete civilian designs pressed into emergency wartime service. Others were unique Australian engineering solutions built for specific wartime requirements. Together, they form the essential foundation without which the RAAF's combat squadrons could never have taken to the skies.